meltdown. The Elon Musk and Donald Trump alliance has gone up in flames. Total and utter flames.
This morning, a growing rift between the president and Elon Musk.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
We have all wondered when these two would fall out, but could anyone have predicted that when it did happen, it would spiral so fast?
Look, I don't know what happened in 24 hours. Everybody can draw their own conclusions about that.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So this is not the video that I was planning to post today, but over the last 24 hours, all hell has broken loose and Elon Musk is going head-to-head with Donald Trump. Normally, I don't cover topics like this on the channel, and I prefer to keep it specific to investing, personal finance, and real estate. But the fact of the matter is, what's being said is having a significant impact on the markets, with Tesla stock plummeting as much as 17% in a single day, and Elon predicting a recession towards the end of the year. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, there are some valid concerns with the unsustainability of endless money printing, which is a topic that's actually worth diving into. This is why we really have to talk about exactly what's being said, the problems with Trump's new tax bill, why Elon Musk now wants the president impeached, and what this means for you watching. Because despite the market falling, there could be some seriously good buying opportunities if you know what to look for. Although before we start, if you appreciate one-off videos like this, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't done that already. Doing that gives me a really good indication if these are the types of videos you want to see more of, and as a thank you for doing that, I will do my best to read and reply to as many of your comments as I can. So thanks so much, and also a big thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Alright, so in terms of where this begins, let's start here with Elon Musk. I think it goes without saying that Elon has been a huge proponent of getting Trump elected in 2024, reportedly having spent over $250 million to make this happen. In fact, throughout most of Trump's campaigns, Elon was right next to his side, and with the help of his influence on X, it's pretty safe to say that there was significant pull to win the election. And this is where things get very interesting. Shortly after taking office, Trump put Elon Musk in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, with the main goal of lowering the federal deficit, cutting wasteful spending, and making sure our tax dollars were put to the best use possible. In fact, within the first few months, Musk's team fired or bought out about 250,000 government workers to eliminate wasteful roles, and they initially went in with the expectation of being able to save $1 trillion. But pretty soon it became evident that the cost-cutting measures were falling short. His own companies began receiving significant backlash, and he was quoted as saying, "Being attacked relentlessly is not super fun. Seeing cars burning is not fun. In the grand scheme of things, I think we've been effective. Not as effective as I'd like, I think we could have been more effective, but we've made progress." Essentially, his measures fell short due to legal hurdles and resistance within the courts, causing him to take a step back and focus more of his time on Tesla. Until he saw Trump's big, beautiful tax bill. For those unaware, this bill would extend the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 2017, boost spending on military and border security, reinstate bonus depreciation, eliminate taxes on tips and overtime, and raise the debt ceiling to compensate for some of the lack of revenue. Which leads us to the next problem. It's very expensive. For example, the Congressional Budget Office estimates that it would add around $2.4 to $3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. And other analysts say it could actually be as high as $4 trillion. For Trump, this works because the tax breaks could help be a boost for the entire economy. But for the long-term health of America, we're printing and spending more money that we just don't have. And for Elon, this completely undoes all of the work he was doing with Doge. After all, imagine spending months cutting government spending while receiving significant backlash, only to have all of your work undone 20 times over in a few weeks with one single bill. Elon even called it the Big Ugly Bill after saying the new tax plan nullifies the $180 billion in spending cuts made by Doge. Shortly after, Elon blasted the legislation as a disgusting abomination that would bankrupt the country by inflating the deficit, and later he called it a debt slavery bill that would shackle future generations with massive debt. From there, on June 4th, Elon Musk tweeted that bankrupting America is not okay. The bill. And this is where things take a turn for the worse. On June 5th, Trump publicly responded to Elon Musk, saying that he was very disappointed and that he's helped Elon a lot. Trump also said that Musk knew the inner workings of the bill better than almost anybody sitting here. But Elon responded with a false. This bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. Instead, Trump says that the real reason Elon Musk is upset is purely out of self-interest because Trump's bill would be eliminating the $7,500 EV tax credit. $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit. Now, even though this is objectively true and eliminating the tax credit would have a negative financial impact on Tesla, it's also theorized that it could benefit Tesla long-term because selling EVs overall is rather unprofitable. For instance, once the EV tax credit expires, automakers would be forced to take massive losses, while Tesla stays profitable and gains even more market share. Or I guess in other words, while other manufacturers are losing an average of $6,000 a car, Tesla is making $6,000 a car. And if the EV credit goes away, Tesla would just be able to run the other unprofitable companies out of business. Elon Musk even said it himself. Back in 2021, he recommended Congress get rid of the EV credit altogether. This is why when Trump said that Elon was wearing thin and just went crazy, Elon snapped back calling it a lie. But Trump quickly doubled down on that. He said the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it, effectively publicly threatening Elon that if he doesn't back down as soon as possible, there could be some rather severe financial losses. But Elon then responded by saying that without me, Trump would have lost the election, the Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. This is pretty much where things devolved rather quickly, leading to Tesla's largest single-day loss on record, and Elon digging up something that always comes to bite you back in the ass: old tweets. See, in terms of the federal deficit, back in 2013, Trump was publicly against raising the debt ceiling, calling himself embarrassed and that no member of Congress should be re-elected if our country's budget isn't balanced. Honestly, this entire situation just escalated so quickly to the point where Elon was live tweeting Trump's press release, and then he began calling out other members of Congress who were previously in favor of cutting costs, now backtracking entirely and promoting a bill that would raise the federal deficit once again. And then, you can't even make this stuff up, Elon started tweeting about Trump associating himself with the Badman Files. And the reason we haven't seen them yet is because Trump's in it, even going so far as to post a video of the time the two of them were together. From there, Elon Musk retweeted a post saying that Trump should be impeached, while saying that a recession will take place later in the year due to ongoing tariffs. Of course, others have been very critical of Elon Musk, citing his, erratic appearances at a recent meeting, with a black eye. Some sources believe that this could be the reason for his outburst lately, but regardless of the reason, the toll on the market has been severe. In one day, Tesla lost $150 billion in market cap. $285 million was wiped out from the cryptocurrency market in 60 minutes, and Trump says if the bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase. So what does all of this realistically mean for you? Well, here's my honest perspective from someone who doesn't take sides. I don't care either way, and I have nothing to gain or lose by saying this. I find it in really bad taste that all of this is playing out so publicly, live, back and forth, when the country would benefit the most by being unified. Maybe it's too idealistic to expect that these matters would be handled privately behind closed doors, but objectively, I do think the country would be much better off if we didn't have so much political back and forth. Of course, I get it. The counter argument to this is that this allows everything to be aired out in the open publicly so that all of us could see exactly what's happening in real time, and then come to a decision ourselves. Although in terms of how this impacts you, here's the honest truth. Short term, I would expect to see a lot more volatility. Flat out, investors hate this type of uncertainty, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more market turmoil. But long term, I wouldn't expect this to have any meaningful consequences, and it doesn't really change anything about the market fundamentals. Like sure, not passing the new tax bill will most likely have a bit of a drag on the economy, but let's also be real. A new tax plan is most likely going to pass, and there will be spending increases because Congress loves to spend money. It is wildly unpopular to cut spending or raise taxes, so the only thing left to do at this point is just to print more money. Is this a problem for the national debt? Yes, absolutely. But is it a problem right now, this very second? Probably not. I hate to say it, but it seems like a lot of politicians only care about their next term, and if that includes spending more packages to push some random stuff through, so be it. It'll probably just continue happening until eventually it's too late. When could that be? Well, honestly, we could probably just keep spending more and more and more money for decades. Money that we don't have. The only cost is going to be a devaluation of the US dollar and a weakening position of the United States as a dominant superpower. But it's nothing our grandkids can't fix. Hopefully. That's why I think that Elon is highlighting a very real, serious problem but I don't have faith in the government to actually do anything about it. Honestly, I think it's a good buying opportunity. I'm not changing anything about how I invest, and I don't think this changes anything fundamentally long term. I just think, as nice as it is to have the belief that the government has the potential to operate efficiently, I don't have high hopes that this could be accomplished, and it just seems like a losing battle. Like, sure, you'd be able to save a few pennies, but at the rate the government is currently spending, any resources would probably just be better spent elsewhere. If you think I missed anything, by the way, in the entire situation, since a lot of this is changing by the minute, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to read and reply to as many of you as I can. And also, let me know if you enjoy these slightly off-topic, breaking news videos, and if enough people enjoy them, I'll do more of them. So thanks so much, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and until next time.